Dear viewers, welcome you all to this video. Dear viewers, today I'm with my favorite student, Suborno. Both of us have similar kind of interest in philosophy, especially Stoic philosophy. And today we're gonna talk about a famous book named Meditation by Marcus Aurelius. And Suborno, could you please introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you. Hi guys, my name is Shubhavna Sharkar. I am a student of DRMC, Dhaka Residential Model College. Only this year I have passed my class 10 4 SSC examination and I got admitted in DRMC. I am in my HSC first year now. I am going to start my college life. I have I also have a 1.5 years of experience as working as a freelancer in Upwork and Fiverr.com. I have created more than a dozen of online shopping websites and fintech websites. I have done online store management for more than 20 online shops. And I have also done SEO, which is search engine optimization, for two major online shopping platforms in our country, known as Daraz.com and Amazon.com, respectively.
Okay, nice. Suborno, as far I know, you have read many books. How many books have you read, maybe outside the academic books?
So I have started reading 2.5 years ago,
Yeah.
and till today, I think by covering all the, I have interest in 4 to 5 topics in reading, and if we calculate it together, more than 70 books besides academic
More
books.
than 70 books, dear viewers. He has read more than 70 books. Tell us about who is Marcus Aurelius.
Marcus Aurelius was the king or emperor of the ancient Rome. He became the emperor at the age of 22, which was in 121 AD, which is more than 2000 years ago. When he became the emperor of Rome, this was not the kind of time that people would generally take over the throne of the nation, because at that time Rome was being attacked by its all sorts of enemies from all way possible, and Marcus Aurelius single-handedly, as a young boy, as a young king, defended his country's glory and his freedom. And 5 years continuously, Marcus Aurelius fought many battles and won every one of them. And when after 2.5 years of those battles ended, he was when the country was getting when the country was recovering from the wound of the war, suddenly a epidemic happened. A disease named plague took over the whole Rome and spread it all over the nation. And Marcus Aurelius saw death in each and every household of the ancient Rome, and seeing those deaths, he he just became dispassionate about his kingdom and started writing his opinions, his thoughts on a journal. And he was not an ordinary philosopher. He was the most powerful man ever walked on this planet. And the first sentence that he wrote in his journal was that I can't understand that why people don't notice that the angel of death is sitting on our every words.
Very nice, wonderful description. Okay, Suborno, next question is to you. What is Stoicism?
So Stoicism is a school of philosophy founded by a Greek man called Zeno in the 3rd century BC. That means 300 years before the birth of Jesus Christ, and it has been around for over 2,000 years, and it is still very much popular and relevant today. And what can I say more? That Stoicism gives the idea of the circle of control, like focus on the things that are in your control and leave the rest. Like, what are the things that are in our control? There are very few things in life that are in our control, like our physical fitness, our mental toughness, our attitude toward life, and I think one or two more things. And most of 99.99 things in our life are not in our control, like the time we're in, the weather, what other people think about us, what other people say to us, or even the God's will. We cannot do something about that. But the things that are in our control, we must take 100% responsibility of that. And Stoicism has 4 pillars, which are wisdom, courage, temperance, and moderation.
Very nice. Okay, Suborno, do you think that you are a Stoic man?
Uh, I don't consider myself as a full-fledged 100% stoic man, but I'm trying to become one.
Why do you think that meditation is necessary for the adolescents today?
So the history of mankind is about 4.5 billion years old. In this such a long period of time, uh, our generation is the first and the most comfortable and convenient generation we can say because before us, before this 21st century, no other generation had this level of comfort and convenience and this kind of easy life what we have now. But we can proudly say that we have the most comfortable life on the history of this planet. But we can't say that we are the strongest generation ever. Even we can't say that we are the smartest. That will be a wrong thing to do. But in this stoicism or meditation is 100% necessary and relevant today, especially for the adolescents like myself, because in this highly competitive world, one of the major problems that youth or adolescent of my age are suffering is overstimulation of the brain. Suppose, like I know the most of the boys and girls of my age, we wake up in the morning feeling motivated, excited about our goals. We start working. By the afternoon, the graph of our motivation start drastically going down, and by the night we don't even get the energy to study, and at last we go to bed feeling depressed and exhausted and stressed out. We lost our purpose of we just think that why are we here, what are we doing, and the only cure for this problem is stoicism. Stoicism makes one's mind one pointed. Even Marcus Aurelius says that for a one pointed mind, success cannot be denied. Suppose if we want to make a journey from here to there, and if after every two steps we start changing our direction, the chances of us getting to the destination is very remote. So if we are unwavering and still and focused and properly concentrated like a laser beam to our goal, I think we will get it, and we can get it only by stoicism.
Nice, thank you. Okay, Shubharnam. According to you, there are many benefits of meditation. Okay, there are many students who cannot concentrate on anything. There are many students who cannot sleep at night. I think meditation will be good for them. So, I want to ask you, could you please tell me very simply what is meditation?
Sir, of course, this is the most important segment of this video, that what actually is meditation. The English word meditation does not actually mean anything. And there are many misconceptions about meditations actually. According to Marcus Aurelius, meditation is not an action that you perform at a certain period of time, or a certain period of time in a day. The simple definition of meditation is not that meditation is not an action. You cannot perform meditation, but you can become meditative. According to Marcus Aurelius, Marcus Aurelius says that meditation is a fruit of a certain process. Just suppose, if we want mangoes in our garden, we just don't sit with our eyes closed and chant mangoes, mangoes. We don't do that. If we take care of the seed, if we take care of the soil, if we take care of the water, if we apply proper fertilizers, if you take care of the sunlight, mangoes will naturally come. You don't even have to be bothered about mangoes. Meditation is like that. You don't even have to bother about meditation. If you cultivate your body, mind, emotions, and energies into a certain level of maturity, we can say you are meditative. And according to Marcus Aurelius, every action that we perform in this physical world must have a touch of meditativeness. And in this way, we can stay meditative 24 by 7, 365 days. And the general conception of meditation is that sitting with eyes closed, backbone upright, wearing loose clothes, sitting on a mat, and doing something. This is not meditation. This is just a smart way of avoiding the truth about meditation. And as we all know, the truth is always bitter and it is hard to handle.
A very nice explanation. Okay, Shubharnam, you have read many books. Can you tell the name of some books that intermediate students can study?
Yes, sir. I'm hoping the audience that are listening to this video are comparatively all all of them are beginners in the world of this reading. So I would suggest that start something which is very simple that you can understand and which is also interesting. Because if you become bored by reading the first two pages of the book, you will not study, you will not read further. So one of my favorite topic to study is human psychology. Like if something happens in this room, if something happens, there can be 10 different people. The happening, the incident or the accident might be the same, but the reactions of the 10 people will be 10 types. So I find it very much interesting to study how the human mind actually works. For this, you can study a famous book, a world famous book named How to Win Friends and Influence People.
I think Dale Carnegie is the writer of this
Yes,
book.
Dale Carnegie is the writer of this book. Dale Carnegie is a world famous writer. He wrote many books, but the bestseller is every of his book is bestseller, but the best of the bestseller is How to Win Friends and Influence People. Second, the I don't know. I think people in any kind of profession must. I don't care what their profession is, but they must have a overview. They must have an idea about the world of money or the world of finance, because you might be a very successful doctor, but still you might be struggling financially because of not having the correct type of knowledge of the world of money, because the world of money is very complicated. Many people don't get it. Many intelligent people also don't get it. So, to understand the complicated aspects of the economy in a very simple language, you can study the book named Rich Dad Poor Dad. The writer of this book, I cannot remember. I think
Robert Psyche, Robert Q.
Robert Kiyosaki.
Kiyosaki.
Robert
Robert
Kiyosaki
Kiyosaki.
is the writer of this book, and I'm assuming that the most of the audience who are watching this video don't even know the meaning of the word economy. The word economy has been derived from the Greek word economia, which means the study of land. If I tell you a story, the richest man ever lived on this planet, his name was Hassan al Musa. He was an Arab man. When he was passing through Egypt, he was going to see the pyramid. He saw extreme poverty among the people in Egypt, and every poor person that he saw on the road, he gave them gold. And he gave away so much gold that he bankrupted the Egyptian economy. The word economy comes from the word economia, which means the study of lack. You cannot have an economy if someone is not lacking. If there is no poor, middle class, and rich in a system, money will not flow in the system. Money will not flow in the market. And if money does not flow from one place to another, the economy will collapse. So there are many interesting stories in that book, and so you can study. And there is a fantastic novel named as The Richest Man in Babylon. The ancient city of Babylon was one of the richest cities ever existed on this planet. So how this city became the richest city in the world without any natural talent, without any mineral, without any oil? How did this city grow so fast and became magnificent in size and the size of its economy? You can get an idea about this in the book The Richest Man in Babylon. The writer of this book, I think George George Clason, I think.
George Clason.
The name of the writer of the book was George Clason. It was also a bestseller, and all these books are available in as an audiobook, as the paperback, as hardcover in more than 50 languages. So don't worry about that. If you want to study, you can study.
Yeah. So you have told the name of three books. Okay. The first one,
The first one was Rich Dad Poor Dad,
written by,
Robert Kiyosaki.
the second one,
Was How to Win Friends and Influence People
by Dale
Dale
Carnegie.
Carnegie.
And the third one,
Third one was The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason.
okay, three books. I think that students of intermediate level should study at least these three books.
Exactly.
And I think another book the students of intermediate level can study, and the name of that book is How to Talk to Anyone.
Yes, it is a fantastic book. It has helped me a lot in my initial stage when I was starting communication with people. Um, It is a fantastic book. I can't. There is no second opinion about that. It is a fantastic book.
I think they can study one more book, and that book is very small in size. The name of that book is "You Can Win"
Yes,
by
you can
Shiv
win.
Kara.
Yes, by Shikara. I have read that one. I think for the for for the adolescents like us, this book is in very simple language. It has described the many aspects of life, competition, time management in a very simplistic manner. You can read it.
Okay, Shubharna, meditation. This is a very famous book by Marcus Aurelius. So I want to ask you, what are the benefits of studying the book meditation?
Um, the general conception in people's mind is that when you practice meditations or when you do meditations, which Marcus Aurelius says is not a correct terminology for describing the word meditation, but when you do meditation, your mind comes down, your concentration increases, your focus increases, your productivity increases, and your blood pressure becomes stable. You get many physical benefits, but this is all in the very much superficial level. And this is how you teach meditation to a 6, 7, or a 10, 12 years old kid. Meditation is a phenomenal empowerment that anyone can have in his hand to perform any kind of or any level of action in this highly competitive world. Meditation simply means taking charge of one's own life, that how I am from the inside, no one can determine, no one can affect my inner condition. This is the essence of meditation, and this is also the essence of Stoicism. That my outside condition may be dependent on so many things, maybe the way, the time we are in, the weather, the people around us, but how I am from the inside is 100% my responsibility. And meditations give you that choice to choose how you want to be from the inside. Because actually, there are only two things that define our life. One is the level of action that we perform, and the how is the experience of our life. The level of action that we perform in this world, and how is the experience of our life. These are the only two things. And meditation is a fantastic tool to take charge of these two faculties, the most important two faculties in our life. There is a famous story in the Stoic lore that one day a man started traveling and suddenly he got lost in a forest. And after walking half an hour, he landed in a paradise. Fortunate, isn't he? He landed in a paradise. In the paradise, he saw many beautiful trees full of flowers, birds. But suddenly, in the middle of the paradise, he saw a very big, nice tree. He went near the tree and saw there is very cushiony grass under the tree. He sat down. He was very tired. He folded that grass like a pillow and he put his head and he slept. After 3 or 3.5 hours, he woke up. He started feeling very hungry. That then he was just thinking about all the nice things that he ever wanted to eat in his life. Suddenly, all those things appeared in front of him. Hungry people don't ask questions. He ate. When he ate, his stomach became full. After that, he was feeling thirsty. He thought about all the nice things that he ever wanted to drink in his life. Suddenly, all those drinks appeared in front of him to his amazement. Drinking people also don't ask questions. He drank. After that, when he came back to his normal ways of being, when he came back to his senses, he was just whispering in his own mind that what is happening? I asked for food, food came. I asked for drink, drinks came. There must be ghosts around here. Ghost came. Oh, the ghosts are here, they're going to torture me. Yes, the ghost started torturing me. Oh, I'm going to die. And at last he died. The problem is he was sitting under a wishing tree. According to Marcus Aurelius, a well established mind, a one pointed mind, a mind which is unwavering in its direction, is considered as a wishing tree. Whatever you want from it, it will give you. It does not matter what is the level of action that you perform, what kind of situation you are in, what kind of difficulties that you are facing. If your mind is well stabilized, you can do wonders in this world. And if your mind is not stabilized, if your mind change directions every single second, You and with this kind of mind, when you enter the physical world, this highly competitive world with absolutely strong men, what will you create? You can't create anything. So I think the benefits of reading the book Stoicism is that the at first this book Meditations, I don't like to call it a book because this is not a book. This is the journal of the most powerful man that ever lived. And because, as we know, that Marcus Aurelius was a Roman, he was a Roman man, but he wrote the book in Greek. He was talking to himself in Greek. And this document, which is known as the Meditations, was never intended to be published. After many years of his death, the his I think some of his family members who was alive after 100 or 200 years, they decided to publish this. So by reading this, we can see a glance of the mind of the most powerful people of that time, that how the most powerful man thinks, how their mind works. So I think the best benefits that one can get from the by reading the book The Meditation is that you become like him. By reading him, there is no other way. You start becoming like him. You start thinking like him. You start your day like him. You work through the day like him, and you at last at the night when you go to bed, you don't go to bed as a man who was yesterday. You go to bed as Marcus Aurelius himself.
So I think every student, each and every student of high school and college level
Yes.
should study this book. Where is this book available?
This book is available at any shop, at any well-known library near you. And if you, this is as we know, this is a modern age. We don't have to step outside of our home to get any book. We can order it in taras.com, and especially there is a store named as the Manuscript, which I organized. So you can order it from here, and if you share a code which will be given in the description of the video, you will get a I think 20 to 25% discount on this.
Many students, there are many students who cannot understand English. I mean, the English of this book is tough a little bit. So,
Yes.
what can they do?
This book is available in 57 languages, so don't worry about that. You will get it in Bangla, English, Hindi, in every language.
Nice. Okay, so they will be able to read. I think all the students should study the book Time Management.
Yes.
This book is very nice.
Yes.
Since time is very valuable and actually success in life mostly depends on time management.
Yes.
So each and every student should study this book.
Yes.
And the book Time Management is written by Brian Tracy.
Brian Tracy.
Tracy.
I think a human life can be defined by I think only two elements: a certain amount of time and a certain amount of energy. I think we don't have anything else. The rest of the things we put it from somewhere and we put another one. But the thing that we actually have is a certain amount of time and a certain amount of energy. If we can master these two things, we can say we're the master of life.
Yes. So I think first of all, a student can study at least these three books: How to Talk to Anyone, You Can Win, and Time Management. These books are very beneficial to them.
Yes.
Okay. So Shivana, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I think our viewers, especially my students, will be benefited watching this video. Thank you very much. Hope to see you very soon.